Greetings, I am Lice.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together. All right, so, isn't it nice to have a smart boyfriend? Huh?
Boyfriend. But Kayla said...
And now she's second-guessing herself, going, I thought I knew. I don't want to be his girlfriend. She may not have even understood it before she said that sentence. She just would have, that's the sentence that encompassed her sort of hesitation about the situation.
Right.
And then going, okay, so Kayla told me that's not the thing, so what I'm worried about and uncomfortable that this may happen again, or that I'm going to have to keep being involved with this or deal with it more, I can put it all down because I'll just believe Kayla.
Right.
And then he keeps trying to text you, and he keeps trying to call you. And again...
And now he's also touching you and kissing you, and it's like, whoa, And
then you've got this experience of, again, where we just talked about in the last episode, where you can read this two different ways. Either Jonathan is meant to be more of a predatory guy that's pushing Byrne around, or Jonathan is this sort of earnest, kind of very genuinely interested and doesn't know what angle to take, what approach to take. Going, I want to succeed, so I'm going to tell you where I'm useful, I'm going to tell you how I'm valuable, I'm going to keep trying to talk to you. Going, we did the thing, so now we can know each other and be close, right? Anyway.
And I feel bad, especially though, considering the setup with Byrne. As far as we can tell, Byrne is very much, again, a people pleaser. So this goes really awkward really fast. But I also feel this because, as we discussed last time, that as far as we've ever experienced it, a lot of women are never taught to be very assertive or basically a contrary, could be a contrarian compared to men.
I was just saying, and if you're a people pleaser, it can be even harder to say no.
Oh God, yeah.
Even if you're really sure you want to say no.
Jonathan, I think we need to talk. Unfortunately, the bell rings and we have to go to class.
Oh my God, could you guys hear that? Listen.
Wow, that is great. That's fabulous.
You have this giant tolling brass bell. Like, can you imagine that being your school bell instead of the horror scream that's in
Oh Baby?
Oh Baby, which we still haven't solved that yet. We'll have to make an update. I would say you have instead this giant brass, like the towers of Notre Dame, gently booming through the entire school.
Right.
That would be impressive. So I didn't go to public school above grade school.
Right.
And so I'm not familiar with what a lot of school bells sound like, but I would be fascinated if that was a high school bell.
Jonathan asked me to wait for him in the parking lot after school.
Do we get to see a parking lot?
Yeah.
That's your school?
Whoa.
That is your school.
That looks like an apartment complex?
Can you imagine like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 12-story school?
Or higher? Jesus.
Like a high-rise, multi-level high school?
Right?
Like, how rich are you guys?
Holy shit.
But also going, is it many outbuildings? Is this basically, or like you have these...
Is this the college, though? I thought we were supposed to go to college.
I mean, we're just now 18.
Oh,
so we don't know if this is the end of high school. From what I understood of the way the game was pitched, you're about to start college.
Right, okay.
So this isn't college yet.
As expected, Mr. Sinclair gave us a test. I did my best, but I'm not sure about the result. I might have other things
elsewhere
on my mind. I can't concentrate because I can't stop thinking about Jonathan. And based off of the music and all the other very soft, subtle cues, I might
This is sad.
This is a sad.
This is a sad experience.
Oh, there he is. Jonathan is about to kiss me again, but I duck.
I just go,
I panic.
Oh, look, I will panic.
I got the door.
Huh. What's wrong?
Jonathan, we need to talk.
Grabs you gently, pulls you in close. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we slept together, and I'm your first. And they're going, predatory. He went, if I'm your first and we sleep together, you'll have to stay with me.
Or it could also be, again, though, a cultural experience. Because some people really do go, I wonder... So there's another thing, so we're going to probably bring up pop culture. I'm going to just bring up pop culture detective again. There's another video where he talks about, where he's talking about a trope called Born Sexy Yesterday. It's one that he talks about that he developed based off of the idea... He coined the term himself. Coined the term himself based off of the idea of a manic pixie dream girl and like, oh God, I don't remember what the other one is.
So it wasn't based off of any of those.
No, but it's like
a quite into those.
Right.
So he went, there are these relationship tropes,
right,
and this one doesn't quite fit, so
I was saying, though, it's kind of like a combination of several different things, which includes Manic Pixie Dream Girl, right? But also part of it was literally where he talks about that he's like, as far as he has experienced being a cisgendered man, and also what I have seen for a lot of cisgendered men, honestly, is going like, there seems to be an experience of going like, if I can find a woman, she needs to not have any other experience with men, because I am literally terrified about basically her ever comparing me to another man, because I spend all of my time, men, especially in the United States, as far as I've ever seen, because I can't speak for other cultures, really do heavily have a lot of competitive behavior shoved on them of going, you need to be thinking about beating other guys. You need to be thinking about how much more you need to perform better. You need to do better. You need to be outdoing everyone. It's this huge, basically, posturing contest.
I think what my friend is bringing up here is when he wraps it up at the end, he says there's this experience where men don't want to be compared to other men.
Yeah, so they look for somebody who is completely virginal.
If someone has been completely unexposed to other men, you will inherently be their best because you're their only one.
Yeah.
And if you're their only one, then you don't have anything to fight against.
Right.
And so, again, you can take Jonathan a couple of ways. It doesn't mean he hasn't done something bad. Even if someone is earnest in their intent, if they assault you, it is still bad. It is still illegal in many places.
Yep.
Okay? So the thing is just because someone's intentions are pure, while intentions do matter, they do not reign the day inherently.
Oh, heck no.
Okay? They don't determine everything. I might not have meant to hurt you, but I did hurt you. While my intent does affect how that situation should be handled, such as manslaughter versus murder, they're still both crimes.
Yes, they absolutely are.
Anyway, we actually had a conversation about this recently, so that helps me.
Okay,
So anyway, this idea that he's going, we slept together and I'm your first. One, that suggests a superior level of understanding in his case if he knew exactly what he was doing. The author informing that this guy is meant to be a predator. Based on my reading experience, that is what they are telling us again. That this guy was taking advantage of us. However, you follow the other tropes, he was taking advantage of us based on, I want a girlfriend that won't compare me to anyone else. I want someone that I can be the one and only standard in their life and thereby be the best thing ever to them.
And also completely overwhelm, potentially / dominate you as well, because then you will be overwhelmed by me and how glorious I am, and also...
if you have no standards for relationships, I can tell you they work however I want, and especially if you're usually a pushover, you should go along with me.
I actually even remember, like, in some cases, so this is not to say that they were bad, but it was sometimes interesting to read through a series of, like, Reddit posts where they were discussing basically, basically sexual encounters that they had with any of their partners, right? And going like, they're like, oh my God, I thought, and they were like, I didn't have any experience with sex before, and I had a really experienced partner that kept doing these things that I thought was really normal. And then when I broke up with them and then I went with somebody else, I was so used to doing this behavior that I did it, and the person was like, holy shit, what are you doing? And they were like, isn't that normal? And they were like, no, oh my God.
Yeah, so it was actually an entire thread on basically moving from your first partner to other partners. It was literally, here was my first sex partner experience, and then what was wildly different when I tried to sleep with other people, or when I started sleeping with other people. And some of them were actually going, I didn't actually sleep with anyone else because I'm still with my first partner, but I have learned from discussions with other people that what we do and what they have taught me how to do, and in many cases there was a large gap between them in experience, but not always. There was one that came in and talked about it and going, me and my first partner, we did the weirdest ass shit ever, including we
just had fun.
We would just made up whatever the hell together, and I don't even know how we came up with some of it because we were young and in high school and we were both completely experienced. But when I moved on to other people, I never did most of that again because no one else had any context or any connection to it at all.
At all, yeah.
Anyway, so there can be a thing of going also, yeah, you can teach your partner to do what you're used to. A lot of people have said even in like management and in work and stuff going, I prefer an inexperienced employee because you can train them from nothing as opposed to one you have to retrain from other people's habits. And so this is experience a relationship employee. I wanted an experienced one so I could train them to exactly what I would like with no previous context. All right.
Which can go lots of different ways, like, whoa.
Yeah, we slept together, and I'm your first.
Jonathan Sparks Naughty.
You're first. What? You can't wait to spend another night with me?
No. I mean, no, it's not about that.
Okay, so in that case, I want to actually analyze that really quick. It is really important for people to say no. A lot of times when people say no, if they are a people pleaser, if they are used to accommodating other people, or even if they are more of what I would consider to be socialized as a woman, where they're taught to be a people pleaser, even if that's not more how their natural inclination is, they'll say no, and then they'll caveat the no and invalidate themselves. They're basically hamstring themselves afterwards. They'll go, I gave you my genuine, honest response, and I went, oh, that's not socially acceptable, I need to correct it.
Which is actually sometimes where we talk about that it's really important in regards to the way that we understand language is to not say but. Because most of the time, but is going to whatever you say, but this thing is going to completely invalidate whatever you just said.
And the way it works is, and because examples work really well for me, even if you're very familiar, is I love ice cream, but. And we've done that before of going, so when somebody goes, would you like some ice cream? Or do you love ice cream? Do you want some? The, yeah, I love ice cream, but means I'm going to turn you down.
Yes.
So the caveat, the descriptor that you've used to expect a certain behavior, the but says that behavior is not going to happen. So if he says, hey, you excited to spend another night with me? And we go, no, but, or no, or what I mean is, it means the no doesn't matter. It's something else.
Yeah, and especially in regards to somebody like Byrne, where we have talked about the people pleaser thing, that does sound like basically I'm dodging because I'm so weirded out about trying to be direct. Like, which is wild for me. I'm like, good on Byrne for being more direct than I actually thought she would be, but like,
that
dang.
suggests a level of panic, though.
Yeah.
Of going, one, I dodge. Two, I blurt out this thing because I'm so afraid. I'm so uncomfortable. I say no when I normally even wouldn't say no. And then I go, shit, I was assertive. I need to correct it.
Right?
Like this suggests a level of, again, let's start out your fun dating romance with deep discomfort. Don't you want it? Hey! All right, so I'm just going to say thank you again to our sponsor for this game. We are very flattered that you have put us in this interesting piece of media, and we are both starting to connect to more and more why you were very uncomfortable with this thing.
It's true.
And this game, for everyone who doesn't know, was sponsored. Cannot remember the name.
It's Liana.
Liana, thank you. I never watched Game of Thrones, so your wonderful little reminder of your name didn't work for me, but it works well for my friends. Between the two of us, we gotcha.
It's okay.
It has been lovely to encounter this and also have your engagement with the series as well. And for everybody else, this is a sponsored game, and we are very grateful to Liana.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so.
I mean, no, it's not about that.
What is it then?
Earlier today at the cafeteria, you said that I'm lucky to have a smart boyfriend.
She's gonna break it down.
Do you think we're a couple now?
Yeah, you're my girlfriend.
Jonathan, you're a nice guy, but...
And this is where, if we were, he was the character we were following, if he was the subject of this rather than her,
right.
If he was the main character, then we would be seeing him about to get dropped completely, having worked so hard for this thing he really wanted and cared about, because you'd frame him positively if he was the main character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you would frame him sympathetically. Then we would be like, we as the viewers would be like, oh no, the girl you love and have watched from afar for so long and have worked so hard for is now just going to completely drop you. Oh no. And we're going to be like, and then your arc is going to start with heartbreak, and hers is just starting with awkward sort of, again, discomfort and abuse.
Right?
And again, it's possible for both of those narratives to be completely true.
Yes.
But I feel like what this author is writing is not that that's what's happening to him and that he's being hurt. But again, if you're writing or if you're reading games and things, there's nothing wrong with sympathizing to the other side, because it's the framing of the story that tells you what to think about them. And it is really interesting when people take the other side of the story and go, literally what happened? Okay, based on the literal things that happened, why is it being framed this way? Because this is what it is more.
Right.
And the, like, again, the camera
and then going,
framing.
I'm going to try to frame this thing, and you're going, this isn't cute. This is literally somebody who is aggressively still shitting on this partner while going, you're an adorable man-child, let me still bone you.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Right,
anyway,
whatever
so just here, we're about to have an interesting experience, but I'm having a very dichotomized experience of let's look at this through one lens or another.
Right.
And be aware that you can look at it in both ways. That can also be part of your engagement experience, where if for some reason as a reader, you sympathize with someone that is not who the author is writing as sympathetic,
right,
you can then find yourself either frustrated or really defensive throughout a lot of the book, going, yeah, my favorite character, the author shat on all the time because I read them differently than the author was writing them.
Yes.
Anyway, here we go.
Aha! You're a nice guy, but...
What? Wait, you breaking up with me?
He clenches his fist, and it scares me.
Really? You're just gonna break up with me like that, huh?
There's no way he's going to hurt me, but... honestly, I'm afraid if he's going to do a reckless thing.
If he's going to do a reckless thing, that's
like,
so
that is
bad.
so, but that's also like so dissociative. I don't think he'll hurt me, but I'm just afraid he'll do something reckless, which might actually include hurting me.
Which might include, like, I'm not afraid of being hurt. It might happen, but that's not what I'm afraid of. He might just do something reckless.
I'm like, that is like, again, that sounds like such an interesting, basically, like, separation of this would never happen. Like, I didn't even describe the amount of, like, basically justification that is in somebody's head. Like, I've seen people, though, do that, going, oh, this person would never hurt me. They hit you. No, but they would never actually hurt me.
Right,
they
that's not what
hit
they meant
you.
to do. Yeah.
No, they screamed at you. They abused you.
But they weren't trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
They still hurt you. All right.
But we never really dated to begin with. We can't break up when we were never a couple.
How do I know when they're talking versus thinking? I have the hardest time with this.
I
feel like there should be more of a clear convention between I've said this out loud and I'm thinking this, and if it's there and I've been missing it, I've had
It's
a very hard
literally
time
because of the name up on the top, which sometimes we don't always catch, and sometimes it's because it's so small and it's in a very tiny little area, it's hard to notice. I don't know.
So
for me, it's
Baron is
frustrating.
either talking or thinking, and sometimes it's not as obvious which one.
Yeah.
But I like you. I really like you. Don't you like me too?
Don't you like me to...
I don't. We need another O.
We need another O.
We need another O. I was like, hey God.
Don't you like me to...
Don't you like me to date you?
To date.
Don't you like me to be with me?
That is an
you need
incomplete
one more
sentence,
O.
sir.
Or you just need one more O.
You're a nice guy, and I've already said this. Please figure it out. God, I don't... I'm so...
Cut it out, Byrne.
Ah.
I'm not playing stupid nice guy games with you. Tell me why you don't want to be with me.
Oh, God.
And I'll fix it. I'll change it. I'll make it good. So I have worked with this before. This is an experience that my friend is having flashbacks to,
I'm
helping
fine.
me through
I'm okay.
sometimes.
I'm okay.
Of going, you need to tell me why you don't want me, and then I'll change it so you can't leave me.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's okay. I'm fine.
Right,
Because I'm not interested in you. I think we did last time was a mistake. I just want to take things slowly because I'm not interested in you. Burn, like, I know, so Burn being awkward, though, the fact that Burn has gotten to this point,
Uh-huh.
I kind of still want to go with the because I'm not interested in you.
Uh-huh.
I'm between
So,
1 and 2.
I was saying,
Because
the
I
thing
could
is-
see, I think what we did last time was a mistake because that's still more dodging and also trying to get around it.
I don't want to tell you I'm not interested in you because you don't say that. That's too
Right.
rude. That's too aggressive.
And also, you could get away with one. Now that I keep saying out loud, I feel like it'd probably be more like 2
Number
in
2.
relation to this character.
I think she would, honestly.
I would personally just want to say 1, but I'm also like, good job for you, because I will admit, breaking up with people, especially people you're just like, this is really fucking awkward.
And also trying to clarify a misunderstanding can be even more awkward. Sometimes that can be more challenging. I would say, I like that there are 3 choices here. I like that they're all, strongly different things, so it's clear.
I feel like, though, what's also going to happen, though, is a thing my friend pointed out, is that we're going to have a guy gonna come in and save us.
I'm concerned that is what they're setting up
Now,
for.
I'm not saying that's bad.
What if all 4 of them come in and save you and they know each other?
And you're all like, whoa.
That'd be freaking hilarious.
That'd be so funny. All right, I'm gonna go with
I think-
2, because
so-
I know...
One of the ways that we play these games, and occasionally people have come in, and I'm looking at you, Draconeshi, and suggested you could choose this other choice. We've thought about choosing other choices frequently in many of our games, but since we're trying to play a character experience, we're going with what they choose.
Right.
And while it is interesting conceptually, totally valid, we feel you, to want to choose those other things. And occasionally I go, God, I want to go back and find out what that was.
Right.
There's no way to have that character choose that thing and still have them be a person. All right, go forth.
But the thing is also, we will completely confess to, as well, just being human. It is also that thing of, this is a safe space, you can literally choose anything, and this is not like this is on a timer.
Right, and you can see what you want, and for you, if you're playing the game, you can go back and choose all of them. But for the sake of performances, and also for exploring the game as a piece of literature, if you have a main character,
Right.
seeing what it is, if you can try to keep them consistent.
I
Where
will
we're
also
never
say-
choosing things, well, that sounds the most interesting. We did that a little bit in some of them in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
We've decided we've refined our approach.
It's true. It doesn't mean, though, that it's any easier sometimes. Because
No.
sometimes you're really just like, oh my god.
What
this
do I
is-
choose?
Yeah, right?
All right, here we
All
go.
right, 2. I think what we did last time was a mistake.
What did you say?
I think we took things too fast, Jonathan.
Are you saying you regret sleeping with me?
I was drunk. To be fair, I was totally wasted. I don't remember much about that night.
But I do. I enjoyed every single second of it.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is fascinating.
Jonathan,
okay, so
I'm really sorry.
I am recognizing so many
Whoa.
tropes in this, and again, so many tropes of an aggressive, demanding partner or person that cannot respect your boundaries and also can't even understand why you have them. Now, again, you can sympathize with both parties, but it doesn't mean that one of them is okay or doing the right thing.
Again, I'm saying you could actually look at this in the sense of basically a systemic issue. For in regards to Jonathan. So I know sometimes people are like,
way
you shouldn't have any sympathy. And I'm like,
Men are socialized to be men. That's one of those things where I've talked about.
I'm
Absolutely.
like, you can have sympathy. You do not have to fucking excuse the behavior, because also at the same time too, while this behavior is inappropriate, and also at the same time too, though, they learned it from somewhere. If the fact is, if all you do is just attack the issue, you're not involving yourself with being a part of the solution of fixing what keeps causing that behavior.
And that's the kind of thing of going, if you keep getting this one kind of person in your society over and over again, it is not that individual's fault every single time it's your society.
know.
You don't get one racist in society because that's just who they are in their core.
Right.
They were raised and taught that way by something.
Uh-huh.
So in all of your cute kids movies where one person is the, evil person who's ruining everyone's real estate experience, capitalism created that one person.
Yes.
And that is your monster, even if they have a mini boss that is your landlord.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay? That mini boss doesn't exist without the boss above them directing them.
Yes.
So I
Does
like
that, though, mean that whatever they're doing is excused? Not at all.
Or
However,
there's-
it is also going like, okay, this is a problem, but also the bigger problem here. Holy shit.
like this experience. So I was actually talking to some of the younger people in my family just recently about some of the and I'm gonna sensitive subject here, warning, police discussion. Okay, about some of the police brutality that's been going on and what's been happening in Washington. Washington State,
Minneapolis?
yeah, Minneapolis? Is it Minneapolis? Okay, anyway.
There's Minneapolis, and Seattle.
Seattle, Washington. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
okay,
Anyway.
I was like, Washington?
Right. Not DC, Seattle, Washington.
Sorry, my brain kept filling in DC. That's
Washington State.
Yep, thank you.
Anyway, and how they were really uncomfortable with it as teens, and part of my extended family, they're just like, holy crap, and I don't even know how to talk about this, and I didn't either. And they're like, well, cops are bad, and I said, okay, so the thing is what's wrong with the system of the way they're being handled. I was trying not to go, you have to think these things, but for me, the way I go to is, it doesn't mean that all of anybody is bad. Hashtag not all anyone, not all anything.
Right.
But it means that the system that is producing them, whether it's men, women, or police people,
right,
is producing consistently a bad product or a bad ideology. And I say bad in a harmful, not working well with society ideology.
Right.
So what you need to look at, while the individuals do need to be addressed, and legally it is appropriate and necessary to address them, you must look at the system that is creating them and address that.
Right.
And so that is where I'm going. In every single situation, there's been a lot of videos about sympathizing with villains, about rewriting villains. You had your whole weird Enchanted series or whatever it was.
Right.
That thing where you had all the villains' backstories. You're in the magical neighborhood where Rumpelstiltskin actually is a tragic backstory.
Oh God, yeah, Once Upon a Time.
And Once Upon a Time, that's the one. I never watched it.
Neither did I.
But I had people.
Everybody
I knew a lot of people who
freaked out
did.
about it. God.
People were like, but they're all sympathetic now. But a lot of people sympathize with them anyway, which is why that story even exists. And going, just because people do bad things doesn't mean they are not whole, complex people with interesting, complex motives for why they have done them. Cool motives, still murder.
Yeah.
So the murder is still not okay. The brutality is still not okay. But the reason you did those things needs to be addressed because you learned it from somewhere. At any rate, so I feel like that's very, very relevant to this series in the way that we've also talked how we're really tired of men being painted as one-dimensional, annoying people, bad guys. And especially in dating games. And we recently had someone mention going, God, you end up babying so many of these men or caretaking for them or essentially raising them. And there's only seemingly a couple of kinds of guys in these dating games, even the ones that are supposed to be super desirable, they have a lot of problems that you're supposed to solve by dating them.
Right.
Or that basically you have if it's a female empowerment game going, you're going to have female fantasy, all the guys are assholes and stupid because you're going, look, see, women are better than men. I don't feel like you can lift any group up by standing on another group.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you can empower women by disempowering men. I don't feel like you can empower men by disempowering women. I don't feel you can empower NBs by disempowering binaries.
Right.
You all have to lift each other up. And that might be a really heavy topic for this, but this is honestly a very heavy game if you think about what's being written literally here. So that is my rant on that. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. Byrne is very sorry to Jonathan, and we will continue in the next episode.
Yes, so thank you very much for joining us. And again, we understand we're not going to say things that everybody's going to agree with. And we also sometimes don't even agree with each other. I don't entirely agree with my friend, and that's okay. We have different viewpoints on, for example, what's going on currently, and that's okay. And these are long, complicated conversations that you really can't just have in 2 seconds.
And just because one of us says something on screen does not mean at all that the other one agrees with it.
Yes.
And I've had that on my side sometimes, watching my friend going, that's not something I endorse, but that's okay.
Right.
And in this particular case going, the reason I bring that up is actually because Scandal and I have had some complicated discussions recently where Scandal's like, this thing is going on, and I'm going, I don't even know how to deal with this thing because to me it just seems like something huge and bigger.
Right.
And so we look at it in different ways, and sometimes Scandal looking at it from a very focused in, sort of crystallized, near examination, and me going, but the entire whole picture is there and I'm going to drown.
Right.
Anyway.
And that's kind of how that goes. Anyway, again, thank you very much for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, feel free to tell us your thoughts on these kind of things. Because again, this is complex, and the more voices that we hear, especially with the advent of social media, the more we can do to help each other. Shockingly, the more conversations we can have, the better educated we can basically be. Because, believe it or not, education is very relative.
Yeah.
Thank you again. If you want to support us or if you want to sponsor us, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. Other than that, though, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And
it was great playing with you. Bye!